I think I've learned more doing self-study than I've learned in college. In college, all I did was like, finish this assignment, read this book, read this paper, and write like your paper or whatever, 3, 4, 5-page paper. But like I've really learned by like implementing myself, reading a book about networking, and implementing myself, like getting a lab, working like hands-on stuff. Like books in college can only teach you so much. I think you have to really get your hands dirty.
100%. Getting into this broadcasting business is to inspire people to get into IT. Number one, and number two, grow. So there are levels to the game, right? Bharang chale jasta. So सुरुमा हजुर छिर्नु भयो 1-2 वर्ष IT मा काम गर्नुभयो अनि QA बन्नुभयो. QA मा चाहिँ manual test गर्ने यो चल्छ चल्दैन blah blah blah, right? Then you figure out how to automate it. You can like automate the whole thing, put all the controls and automate it, and you can pass the controls. So हजुरको यो सब बत्तीहरु automate हजुर घरमा गएपछि निस्केपछि अटोमेट हुन्छ नि त्यस्तै हजुरको सिस्टम अटोमेट चाहिँ गर्न मिल्छ त्यो लेभलमा जाने अनि त्यसपछि डेभलपर बन्ने अनि लिड आर्किटेक्ट बन्ने हुन्छ नि त्यस्तो हुन्छ
Thank you so much, Brad.
Biswas.
के छ केटाहरु आज धेरै के भन्छ हाम्रो आज एकदम यो र्यान्डम भेट भयो तर इट्स गोना बी फन अचानक भयो इट्स गोना बी फन तर दुई जना के भन्छ आईटी स्पेशलिस्ट दुई जनै
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Yeah.
के चल्दैछ
त्यसै रमाइलो
साथी आज कति बेर लाग्यो कतिखेर हिँड्ने घरदेखि
त्यो 7-8 बजे हिँड्ने अनि आइयो 3-4 घण्टा लाग्यो
हैन त्यही त ब्राडले पहिलेदेखि नि जब मैले पडकास्ट सुरु गरेँ त्यतिखेरदेखि उसले मलाई मेसेज लेखिरहेको थियो कि यताउता अब उसलाई जान मन लागिरहेको थियो हाउ डु आई डु दिस भनेर अनि लास्ट टाइम चाहिँ अब हाम्रो के भने झर नि त गफै घरौँ बसेर होइन के जान्न मन छ तिमी जान मैले सोध्नु पर्यो म सोध्छु होइन अनि त्यो भएर गफ गरेको थ्याङ्क यू विश्वास पनि जोड्यो आज
एकदम
यही खाले चाहिँ मजा हुन्छ
Thank you, Biswas.
You're welcome, bro. Thank you for having me.
दुईजना आईटी केटाहरु छ अब त्यो भन्दा पनि नेपालबाट यता कहिले झरेको कति भयो यता अमेरिका बस्न थालेको विश्वास
म चाहिँ 2006 फेब्रुअरीमा आएको दाइ
हो
हजुर अनि आएदेखि यही मिडल स्कुल पढे हाई स्कुल पढे अनि सीसीबीसी गए कम्युनिटी कलेज पहिला अनि त्यसपछि यूएमबीसी मा ट्रान्सफर भयो 2 वर्षपछि अनि आई थिंक आई वेटेड अबाउट 6 months for my security clearance to go through. And after I got the clearance, like company was just like reaching out to me, like left and right, and they're like, yeah, come work for us. You're a network engineer. You have this certifications. Come work for us. So like getting a job was very easy after I got the clearance.
That's nice. That's nice. Hey, Brad ko.
मेरो त त्यस्तो cool story छैन म पनि त्यही middle school, high school, and school. They 4-5 तिर आएको. अनि I remember one of the thing I remember. I guess this is a good segue for the long term. 2007-8 मा म हाई स्कुल पढ्दाखेरि घर आउँथेँ अनि like there used to be like schools, banks being closed, not schools being closed but banks being closed and foreclosure. In 2009 मा म हाई स्कुल भएपछि I was doing like door sales, like knocking on the door and selling windows and roof and stuff. And I remember a lot of people were saying we're getting foreclosed, we don't need to fix the windows and stuff, and I feel like I hope one day we'll get to a phase, our community will get to a phase that they don't have to go through these situation. It's so amazing now that we're talking about it, and maybe hopefully we'll inspire other people.
2009 भनेपछि 8 तिर रेसिसन को बेला कुरा हो नि त यो त त्यही टाइमको बेला हो मान्छेहरु फोरक्लोजर मा गएको चाहिँ
8 पछि slow 6 thing I feel I think like nothing impacted us, our family, lower class family lived in an apartment, I know family living in an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, it was fine, but the thing is the impact that happened then is also a reminder now, especially, and why people should get into IT, right? Because it's more secure, although California is an outlier, but that's it.
भनेपछि के नेपाल के रे आएपछि नेपाल गएको छैन फर्केर
म चाहिँ गएको छैन दाइ
जान मन छैन
जानमा एकदम जान मन छ तर कलेज भन्यो ग्यापै भएन के लाइक काम भन्यो यो भन्यो
काम भन्यो यसलाई नजिक बनाउन नजिक
यहाँको बिल्सहरु हुन्छ हैन इट्स लाइक अ लट अफ रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटीज तर जान चाहिँ एकदम मन छ हजुर
केही छ नेपाल गएर गर्ने एउटा प्लानहरू हुन्छ नि I want to do this
I want to do trekking ABC जानु मन छ हैन तिलचोल लेक जानु मन छ
Nice.
रारा
exactly
मलाई पनि जानु मन छ यार नेपाल छैन अमेरिका आइकन गएको छैन वहीँ हुँदा त घुम्न पाएन हैन अब जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ घुम्न के भन्छ सोच छ
Nice.
तिमी गयो नेपाल पुग्यो
2009 मा गएँ दुईचोटि गएँ 2006-07 No, yeah. दुईचोटि गएँ जाने हो next year
हामी दुवै जना पोखराबाट हो कि
लेक साइडतिरको
उ चाहिँ लेक साइडतिर
हजुर त्यताको हो
हैन म त उता हामी चाहिँ भुटान शिविरको भन्छ नि हो हामी शिविरको
Nice. That's like you just went to Kathmandu and came here? Okay.
म के अरे एकचोटि पहिले घुम्नु गएको थियो काम गर्ने सिलसिलामा काठमाडौँ पुगेको थियौँ हैन अनि त्यहाँ 1 महिना जति काम गर्यो अनि त्यस्तो घुम्नु पाएको छैन नेपालै बसेर पनि सोध्छ यहाँ मान्छेले सोध्छ नि त हैन हामी अब नेपालको भनेपछि हो तर माउन्ट एभरेस्ट देखिस् भन्छ नि त अनि तिमीलाई पनि सोध्छ होला सायद
एकदम
तर अब छैन के त्यो छैन भन्न कति उयो हुन्छ के त्यो आफूलाई पनि मन लाग्दैन के छैन भन्न आफ्नो ठाउँको जस्तो लाग्छ नि त त्यो चीजहरु
नि
त्यो फिल हुन्छ
त्यो त हाम्रो 8th वन्डर नै
हो नि
माउन्ट एभरेस्ट भनेपछि त सबले चिन्छ
हामीले के भन्छ अब प्रमोट पनि गर्ने होला भिजिट नेपाल भन्ने खालको
2020
त्यो क्यान्सल भएर कोरोनाले बिगारे नि उनीहरूको त्यो भिजिट नेपाल 2020 त्यो के थियो नि प्लान थियो होला सायदै कोभिडले खतम गर्यो ब्रोहरू त्यही त अब आइटी बिजनेसमा छ दुईजना हैन आइटी स्टुडेन्ट अब त्यही विषयमै रहेर गफ गरौँ न आज हैन अब कसरी के कुराले चाहिँ आइटीतिर अब मोर हुन्छ नि फोकस गर्नु पर्यो अब यु कुड डु अदर स्टफ अरू कुराहरू पनि त गर्न सकिन्थ्यो तर अब आइटी नै वाइ भन्ने चिज हुन्छ नि त अहिले अब
सेफ छ फर्स्ट अफ अल सेफ छ अनि स्कोप पनि छ अनि पैसा पनि छ it's not that hard to get in all you need is a college degree but you know to be honest like now I realize like I could have done this without a college degree all you had to do was like study for some certifications like A+, network plus, security plus and you can get a like government job easy like college degree I feel like it was just a scam for me to be honest
yeah it depends
yeah,
right
it depends.
I think it's a good segue to disagree maybe agree to disagree kind of thing you gotta finish your thoughts.
Yeah, I think I've learned more like doing self-study than I've learned in college. In college, all I did was like, finish this assignment, read this book, read this paper, and write like your paper or whatever, 3, 4, 5-page paper. But like I've really learned by like implementing myself, reading a book about networking and implementing myself, like getting a lab, working like hands-on stuff. Like, books in college can only teach you so much. I think you have to really get your hands dirty
100%.
getting into this.
Yeah, I think I agree there. Right. One of the things with his is, we'll talk more about his side. He's more into engineering, hands-on, hardware, networking stuff. I'm more into software and more into program side. So sometimes you need to learn the process. Hazurले कसरी बिजनेस गर्ने कि पढेर सिक्नु पर्यो कि पढेर सिक्नु पर्यो कि सिकाएर सिक्नु पर्यो हैन so those are 3 pillars but if you can get all 3 if you go to school and learn how to do it that's the best right तर school भन्दा नि boot camp I think it's a good idea to get started right
मान्छेले पहिले सुरु गर्नु नि गाह्रो हुन्छ नि त हैन they think it's a rocket science अब गाह्रो हुन्छ पढ्नै गाह्रो हुन्छ आईटी हैन कम्प्युटर साइन्स अब त्यतातिर चाहिँ पहिलेदेखि नि त्यता गइराछ नि त दिमाग हैन अब यो गाह्रो हुन्छ अब जस्तै अब तिमीहरू यहाँ बस्यो तिम्रो पहिलेदेखि सोच थियो गरे हैन अब पछाडी ढिलो सुरु गर्नेलाई चाहिँ अब म सक्दिन होला म गर्न सक्दिन होला अघि उले विश्वासले भने जस्तो so there is other program हुन्छ नि स्कुल रेगुलर अथेन्टिक स्कुलले नगएर अरु प्रोग्रामहरु गरेर पनि त एउटा आईटी स्पेशलिस्ट हुन सकिन्छ हैन
अनि
boot camps I'm like highly like recommending boot camps for like new starters.
I have a guy who is 67 I think 66 or 67 in my team. He's been doing networking for like 20 years. Really cool guy. Another guy I met in boot camp once I went to boot camp after college. He was in his 50s from Turkey. One of the things is commitment to work, commitment to put your hard work. I think sometimes we take life too easily. Like जिन्दगीमा सजिलो छ नि त गएर उबर चलाउन सजिलो छ किनभने एप बनाइदिएको छ तिनीहरूले कस्टमर दिन्छ कहाँ छोड्ने कहाँ पिक पनि सबै दिन्छ so when you have to write a road plan for how you want to study you need to just put like 6 months to it and for work if you just like if you were to get in IT today I think you'll be fine in 3 years. Right? You can struggle for a year. You know? And then 2 years काम सिक्न लाग्छ त्यसपछि त you write your own paycheck, you write your own path kind of thing.
There's information out there like for everything. There's like knowledge, like blueprint for everything. You just gotta be able to put in like the work.
Yes.
You have to be able to put in that work.
Yeah. How would you, I guess, a good question would be, how would somebody get into IT kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Like from engineering point of view, Lakshmi that wants to get into IT, what would you recommend in
from scratch, right?
From scratch. I
would say like first like find like what you want to do, which type of sector you want to get into. Like networking, you want to be a coder, you want to be a developer, you want to be front end, back end, what do you want to do, right? Then I would say like get a book, get a simple book, read it, and like, you know, try to implement something. There's YouTube. You can like literally search for anything and you can find an answer.
Yep.
And you can like, you know, download some software free programs and you can implement yourself. You can make some small programs. And you know, you can literally go from there.
Yeah. And सँगसँगै पहिले जसमा जो काम गरिरहेको छ हैन पहिलेदेखि त्यसलाई काम गरिरहेको छ त्योसँग सल्लाह गर्दै काम गर्नु सक्नु help looking for help is the best in the way.
अनि हाम्रो community पनि राम्रो छ, like if you just ask any Nepali person, they'll like guide you to a right direction.
There's someone in IT.
Yeah,
I guarantee
you. Especially
yeah. I think to go a little bit more into detail on there, if I were to plan something like that, I would get into books, I would get into things, but I would automate things. So if I was getting software development, I would learn how to automate my bills, right? Tapaiko phone bill bhayo, insurance bill bhayo, tyo automate garte. If you want to get into networking, I would buy something from eBay and learn how to like configure switches for your home.
Exactly.
So you have different router and different switches and stuff. Especially from engineering point of view, I don't know how much scope it is in commercial space, but in government space, they still need engineers. You know, you need power, cooling, like networking, the details that you don't really use in commercial space. I didn't use it till like 6 months ago.
Okay.
I struggled getting power cord because our switch used to get shut down because we had too many power users. Like, so there are multiple routes. There's the technical route we're talking about, engineering, development, coding. And there's management route where you're getting into program management, Scrum Master. Business requirement is more about talking to a client and understanding what you need. So if you don't want to really code and you just want to talk to people and understand, hey, I was like, yo, website so I talked to you, I go to an engineer and said, hey, this customer wants ABC, can we do that? So I would get that put together in writing. And one of the biggest thing in anything in life, I guess, is we don't write and document stuff.
Yeah.
Right. That is also a path you can go. If you don't even need to be technical, right?
IT is so huge.
It's like a report keeping. I know. Report keeping.
100%. So there are multiple fields within IT. I think my point is there's technical field, hardware side, software side. There's also program management field. And if you really don't want to code and if you don't want to deal with people, there's like a business side where you just deal with like 10 to 12 member team. Certs would really help from a program point of view too. Scrum Agile is really big popular nowadays. I have a couple of certs. I think that had got me a couple of jobs. But more than that, the people I met at work has always given me the next job. So this 2018 when I got into the business, that was my hardest gig because so I needed somebody to get in. So that was my lowest paying job with lowest contact, no contact. Then I got another contact within the company. Contract was ending. Somebody referred me. I got into that. Then after that, I met another guy who referred me, who got me hooked up. So I'm in there with like one of the top 3 companies in this US space, and I'm pretty lucky there. So connections.
अब तिमीले directly पनि like जान सकेनौ भने like you can also always go through consultancy. I mean, of course, it's not like the best option. I mean, they're gonna take like half of your paycheck, but you get some experience out of it. You can like, you know, build your resume pretty nicely. You get some work experience.
Yeah, I think so. For me, it's okay if they want to take 50%. If I'm making Uber, if I don't Uber, and if I'm making 30 grand, and if I get paid 60 grand, and the consultancy takes like 40 grand out of me for 1 year, completely fine.
Yes,
because you get to know so much, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. And the life. The goal in levels is to get into next level. So you want to get in the field, then start making more money, start understanding more. So the money will come, right? That's how I think. I don't know.
जीवनस्तर भन्छ नि लाइफ स्टाइल चेन्ज हुँदै जान्छ किनभने पैसा आउन थाल्छ हैन आफ्नो के भन्छ वर्क सेटिस्फ्याक्सन हुन्छ हैन
हजुर yeah I think
yeah you get to meet new people like with different ideas like you're like basically thrown into ocean and you have to like learn how to swim, you have to like survive, and that's how you learn anything.
100%. I think consultancy sometimes has a bad rep.
Yep.
But it is actually a good rep for some people. If I were to go back and start over, I would have done consultancy first, get going, get degrees, which helps you with the promotions, maybe get certs, but it is what it is.
Still, this is not rocket science.
Yes, not at all.
त्यो चाहिँ on the main point. यो चाहिँ के अरे आफूलाई के गर्न मन लाग्छ, look for advice, अनि त्यही हिसाबले गर्दा भयो. यही नै गर्नुपर्छ आइटीमा चाहिँ यही मात्रै हो, कोडिङ मात्रै हो, हुन्छ नि, एप्लिकेसन मात्रै हो भन्नु परेन नि त. आफूलाई मन परेको कुराहरू गर्न त पायो.
तपाईलाई इन्ट्रेस्ट छ अनि तपाईलाई अलिकति इङ्ग्लिस बोल्न आउँछ भने तपाईले धान्न सक्नुहुन्छ के त्यो लाइक बी बिजनेस एनालिस्ट पोजिसन QA.
उबर हजुरले उबर चलाउन सक्नुहुन्छ भने हजुर QA गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. Especially sometimes people say driving license लिने नि rocket science गर्छ नि त कसैले
हो नि
तर it's not rocket science, you just need to commit to it. Right? It's the same concept. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Understanding the program हैन basically. Guys अब नि के अरे अलिकति अब यस्तो पडकास्टहरुमा चाहिँ अलिकति के भन्छ चाहिँदा भन्दा धेरै ठुलै गफ गर्नु भन्ने जस्तो नेपाल अब तिमीहरु यहाँ छौ युएसमा बसिरहेको छौ हैन यङ छ अहिले नै सो गाइस हैव लट अफ अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ दिस यो खाले बिजनेसमा यो खाले एजुकेसनमा हैन अब अहिले जस्तै इन्डियाहरुमा अरु देशहरुमा चाहिँ के छ भने आईटी हब भनेर चिन्छ क्या कहीँ आईटी चाहियो के चाहियो भने जे चाहियो इन्डिया सम्झिन्छ फर्स्ट हामीले नेपाललाई त्यस्तो बनाउन सकिन्छ कि सकिँदैन
आई थिंक 100% सकिन्छ
हो हजुर अनि किनभने अब आईटी तिर सफ्टवेयर बिजनेस तिर जो मान्छे छिर्छ उनीहरुको आफ्नो त जीवन स्तर बडो हुन्छ नि आफ्नो त लाइफस्टाइल चेन्ज भयो समग्र नेसनकै लाइफस्टाइल चेन्ज हुन्छ नि
100%
हैन आउटसोर्स
ट्याक्सेस नि तिर्छ नि ब्रो तिम्रो इन्डियामा यहाँ उनी 100,000 को कमा नेपाल इन्डियामा 60,000 अथवा 50,000 मा गरेर यहाँको मान्छेले 20,000 लियो भने यता ट्याक्स तिर्यो उता ट्याक्स तिर्यो हैन ओरिजिनली आई वाज लाइक दे वर स्टीलिङ आवर जब्स बट नाउ इफ यु थिंक अबाउट इट you're helping people. I have a cousin who does a lot of graphic things, designing logos and stuff. I think that helps a lot, especially during COVID. One of the beauty, I don't know about hardware, but from a software point of view, if you have a computer, you can code. If you have an internet, you can get remote job. Restriction, so I think, especially with, I don't know about hospitals, like PII, PHI, those information, but commercial space ma ho bhane chahi you can outsource. Federal government ma mildaina kinan obviously it's government proprietary information. They don't want the code to live outside the US, but I think there's definitely a scope, and I think that's growing. I've seen 1 or 2 studios in Kathmandu, they outsource stuff, especially marketing for agencies. I've seen that. From a software point of view, I've only seen one, and graphic design and marketing has been like the biggest boom thing. Have you heard anything? Or have you heard anything?
त्यस्तो धेरै त थाहा छैन. त्यस्तो थाहा छैन मलाई.
I think Nepal has like a lot of talent. Like they just like they just don't have the opportunity. But if you can provide that,
if we create
if we create some type of platform that can give them job and maybe even help out the country, that will boost like Nepal's GDP so much higher.
Yeah.
अब यस्तो अब अहिले यहाँ छ नि बुट क्याम्पहरू जस्तो यो खाली प्रोग्राम चाहिँ नेपालमा प्राइभेटली भए पनि कसै अब गाउँतिर पुर्याउन सक्यो भने अलिअलि कम्प्युटर जानेको मान्छेहरूले हैन सबैको लाइफस्टाइलै चेन्ज हुन्थ्यो के
like if you could do that would be the best thing ever. I think start पनि गरिरहेछ
होला. स्टार्ट गरिरहेछ होला. अब तिम्रो यङ एजमै छौ अहिले नै हैन हामी सबै यङ एजमै छौं अनि अब हामीलाई अहिले नै यो कुराको अलिकति महसुस भयो भने त we definitely do it हैन यो त
open a small school of just like IT and coding only.
Exactly.
We start teaching kids when they're young.
ट्रेनिङ आफ्टर स्कुल प्रोग्रामहरु जस्तो हैन उनीहरुलाई स्कुलै छुटाउनु पर्छ उनीहरुको रेगुलर एजुकेसन नै बिगार्नु पर्छ भन्ने हैन आफ्टर स्कुल प्रोग्रामहरु गर्यो भने पनि you still make money and you still टिच देम क्या कसरी अब हामीले सहयोग गर्दा गर्दै पैसा पनि कमाउन सक्यो नि त
Exactly.
Win-win situation.
विन या त्यो गर्न सकिन्छ हामीले
It's a win-win-win. Yep.
Yeah, win-win-win.
Yep.
अब सम्झ नेपाल बसी अमेरिका काम गरिरहेछ अमेरिका कम्पनीमा नेपाल बसी काम गरिरहेछ नि त को आउनु मन चाहन्छ अमेरिका फेरि
Exactly.
होइन यहाँको पैसा वहीँ कमाइरहेछ यहाँ दलाल गरिरहेछ अझ होइन म 90,000 भन्दा त काममा सक्दिनँ भनिरहेछ उल्टे नेपाल बसी होइन त्यो दिन आउँछ के
त्यो दिन आउनुपर्छ. I think we can create that.
I think one of the other thing is the infrastructure, like from an internet point of view and electricity point of view. There's inconsistency, I know. I think I don't know enough there to say, hey, this is what we need to do. But for me, IT needs like electricity and internet. I don't know how you feel.
You think so? Yeah.
And the time difference is kind of pain. One at a time, you're a project ma इन्डियामा बस्ने होइन कि एउटा मान्छे स्विजरल्यान्डमा बस्थ्यो होइन सरेको थियो उसको बुढले डक्टर्स रेजिडेन्सी गर्नको लागि स्विजरल्यान्ड सरेको थियो अनि इट गट टु अ पोइन्ट द्याट वी क्यान नेभर हेभ अ मिटिङ एट द सेम टाइम एन्ड वी क्यान ओन्ली मिट वन्स एभ्री 2 weeks during our bi-weekly call. So he left the team just because we could not work out things and we could not get on a call, and it's not in a bad way, but it's just we just couldn't work out that time frame. But other than that, like त्यहाँ एउटा मान्छेले डिरेक्ट गर्ने अनि यहाँ एउटा मान्छेले डिरेक्ट गर्ने अनि कम्युनिकेसन ओभर कम्युनिकेसन भयो भने चाहिँ आई थिङ्क इट्स डेफिनेटली possible.
Yeah, that's the beauty of our generation, right? We're so connected. Like everything is connected. Like from here to Nepal, like we can definitely make this happen.
Yeah.
आफ्नै गाउँबाट सुरु गर्न सक्यो नि त
होइन
आफ्नै गाउँबाट धेरै ठुलो सोच्नु पनि परेन आफ्नै गाउँको सबैको लाइफस्टाइल राम्रो देख्दा आफूलाई पनि खुसी हुन्छ नि मनमा
So satisfied.
अब नेपाल डेभलपिङ कन्ट्री छ होइन जे दिनै पछि एभ्रिडे नयाँ कुराहरू भइरहेछ अब बिजनेसहरू त्यत्तिकै बढिरहेछ तिमीहरू बिजनेस एनालाइसिस गर्छौ होइन के छ त नेपालको बिजनेसको स्तर कतिको बढ्दैछ हुन्छ नि इन्टरनेसनल मार्केटमा नेपालको मार्केट अहिले अब जे छ त्यो इन्टरनेसनल मार्केटमा कति आइरहेको छ मैले मतलब के हिसाब भनेको प्रोडक्सनको हिसाब भन्ने खोजेको होइन आइटीको हिसाबबाट पनि होइन अब कम्पनीलाई दह्रो बनाउनु पऱ्यो स्ट्रङ बनाउनु पऱ्यो सबै कुरा चाहियो साइबर सेक्युरिटीदेखि लिएर गएर होइन बिजनेस एनालाइसिसहरू हरेक कुराहरू चाहिन्छ अनि त्यो ख्याल गर्छ आजभोलि नेपालमा त्यो भइरहेको छ त्यस्तो कुराहरू
आई थिङ्क भइरहेको छ दाइ किनभने हेर्नु न उबर जस्तो कुरा लाइक नेपालकै एउटा भर्जनको आइरहेछ कि त्यो मोटरसाइकलकोमा पछाडि बसेर चलाउने
पठाऊ समथिङ
That's amazing. When the first time I heard about it, I was so happy for Nepal. Like, you know, I'm proud of like what they're doing. And bank ko ni aba transferहरू गर्नको लागि I think एपहरू
छ अहिले
बनिरहेको छ कि I think Nepal is also very like राम्रो डेभलप भइरहेछ.
Nice. Well, just go into I don't know much. So the business analyst that I have specialized or focused on more and is how to make our product better. Right? Your podcast was like XYZ feature chahiyo, how do you make that feature better? How do you increase the settings? How do you increase the productivity kind of thing? So not necessarily I haven't gone and researched a program or business. So I think that is very true. Mal Nepal ma paid this nagareko धेरै भयो नेपालको बारेमा
है
थोरै selfish भएको like I'm trying to work on myself.
Sorry to sidetrack, but like going back to our like topic of like, you know, like developing kids, another like after school program, we're not like just teaching them how to code, but we're also teaching them how to be like creators instead of just being consumer of this generation.
Yeah.
So I think like that is must needed at this point.
Yeah. One of the things I think about this a lot, especially getting into podcasting, getting into this business side is when do I do it? Right. A lot of times I've been in this business for over 5 years now. And the big thing is, they want to get to the next level. So right now I just got finance, not necessarily financially free, but more like I don't have to worry about money every month to month. Day to day bill like it happened like 2 years ago. So I don't want to go start a business. I don't want to go open a shop, or I don't want to go consult. So I'm trying to give 10 years in this gig, be good at it, so I can teach somebody else how to do it the right way. Instead of just saying, hey, go do this. I think
you want to do a legit way. Yeah.
And proven way. Right? I have done it. This is how I did it. These are my failures. One of the great book is Principles by Ray Dalio. It's like 600 pages. But that's just me thinking. You know what I mean? Sorry, I get carried away there.
No, that's good. That's good.
No, that's good. That's good.
So how about you? How did you get into this podcasting? This is also a tech thing, right? Like a lot of time, one of the engineers I have, he started in AV, like audiovisual. He used to work in a university in Pennsylvania. They used to do a lot of audio video and especially like remote session and stuff. Then he got into that. Then later on he got into like tier 1, tier 2 help desk. Then now he's like a DevOps guy and he's moving more into software development side. So how about you? How did you get into this space?
मेरो चाहिँ एकदम इजी छ हैन मेरो के अरे मैले केही कुरालाई कम्प्लिकेट बनाउँदिनँ प्राय I was thinking about doing something else हैन केही न केही गरौँ I need one studio मलाई एउटा स्टुडियो चाहिएको थियो अनि I need one studio भन्ने भइरहेको थियो मनमा कहीँ अनि त्यहाँबाट मेरो त्यही त उत्तम छ भाइ छ उनीहरूलाई चाउन डु पडकास्ट भनेको ठिक छ गर भने नि ल अन्त गर्ने पडकास्ट गर्ने अब के गर्ने थाहा छैन त अब कसैले नगरेको न बाउले गरेको न बाजेले गरेको काम हैन अनि अब देखा मात्रै हो कसरी गर्ने भनेर अलि रिसर्च गर्न थाले हैन त्यतिकै सुरु भयो त्यस्तो अब मैले यत्रो ठुलो बनाउँछु भन्ने अब ठुलो त छैन र पनि के गर्छु बिजी हुन्छु एभ्रीडे यसैलाई मलाई उयो बनाउँछु भन्ने चाहिँ मेरो सोच हैन हुन चाहिँ आई डु दिस हुन्छ नि मेरो काम पछाडीको अर्को यो हबी मात्रै हो मेरो आफ्नो रेगुलर काम छँदैछ हुन्छ नि आफ्नो लाइफस्टाइल चलाउने काम यो चाहिँ जस्ट हबी मात्रै हो यसलाई सिरियस बिजनेस भएर हुन्छ नि पडकास्ट गरेर जोरोगन स्टाइलको हुन्छ नि त्यो खाले स्टाइलको चाहिँ छैन
हाम्रो कम्युनिटीमा यस्तो चाहिएको पनि थियो के लाइक तपाईले कतिवटा मान्छेहरू नयाँ बोलाउनुहुन्छ हैन कति मान्छेलाई मेसेजहरू पुगिरहेको हुन्छ नि त अब हामीले नि सपोज कुरा गरिरहेको छौँ आईटी को बारेमा कसैलाई हेल्प भयो भने द्याट इज अ बिग थिङ फर अस
या द्याट्स अल आई वान्ट मेरो पनि चाहना त्यति हो अलिकति केही कुरा नयाँ कुरा राम्रो कुरा बाहिर पुर्याउन सक्यो मेरो 100-150 जना मान्छेले सुनिदियो मात्रै भने पनि र एकजना 2 जनाको लाइफ चेन्ज भयो भने हैन त्यति नै हो मेरो चाहना पनि
This is a beautiful studio.
Beautiful.
Putting on that.
No, एकदम राम्रो लाग्यो मलाई चाहिँ. That's nice.
अनि
ब्राड के त्यही त अब यसलाई अब कसरी अब तिमीहरूको जस्तो बिजनेस पाराले यसलाई कसरी यसलाई आउटसोर्स गर्ने बाहिर पुर्याउने धेरै ठुलो अडियन्समा पुर्याउने होइन त्यो के अरे माइकदेखि टाढा क्यामेरादेखि टाढा भयो भनेर होला सायदै चके
check दिए bro I'm a big mass
के पो भन्दै थिए म
like you're thinking about expanding how to get bigger
के अरे अब जस्तै अब के भन्छ डिजिटल मार्केटिङहरू गर्छ नि मान्छेहरूले त्यो खाले चाहिँ मैले गरेको छैन किन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब बुस्ट गर्छ मान्छेहरूले अब आउटसोर्स गर्नको लागि मेरो त्यो छैन मैले बुस्ट गरेँ भने अब मेरो अब मोस्ट अफ द पडकास्ट नेपालीमै हुन्छ हैन अनि अब बुस्ट गरेर यो पल्लो घरको मान्छेहरूले हेरेर के गर्नु दे डोन्ट अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड नथिङ सो अनि मैले त्यो बुस्टहरू गर्नेलाई के अरे डिजिटल मार्केटिङ गर्नेहरू चाहिँ सोचेकै छैन जस्ट मेरो जति पनि सुन्न चाहने अडियन्सहरू हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरू आफै जोडिनु भएको छ उहाँहरूकोमा पुर्याउने मात्रै इन्फर्मेसन अब आउटसोर्स गरेर ठुलो अब यो पडकास्ट पुरै फुल अब हुन्छ नि टप टु बटम इङ्ग्लिस कन्भर्सेसन हुनु भने माइट बी डिफ्रेन्ट स्टोरी हैन तर अब यो नेपालीमा हुन्छ ऱ्यान्डम गफ हुन्छ यस्तै त्यो भएकोले गर्दाखेरि आउटसोर्स गर्ने ठुलो बजारमा लाने पनि सोचाइ छैन अनि फेरि यो हाम्रो पडकास्ट नेपालको मान्छेले सुनेर पनि नेपाल फाइदा छैन कि हामी बेसिकली यहीँ बसेको मान्छेलाई कसरी हेल्प हुन्छ भन्ने विषयमा गफ गरेर हुन्छौँ प्रायः जस्तो होइन युएसमा बस्ने विदेशमा बसेको नेपालीहरूलाई हामीलाई कसरी सजिलो हुन्छ अनि त्यो भएर नेपालको मान्छेलाई सब्स्क्राइब गरेर नि फाइदा छैन सो भनेपछि आई हेभ भेरी लिमिटेड अडियन्स अनि आई एम ह्याप्पी विथ इट म त्यसमा खुसी छु
It's pretty cool. What's the bigger vision? Adhikari, like, so I'm going to throw it out there just for fun. So like you got this started, I came here, I want to learn more. So if I were like, hey, Lakshmi, let's go set up a place in Virginia. I guess you could go and help me set up a place, or you could give me the blueprint to set up this place, right? That could be a business plan too. You don't even have to get into this IT business, or you don't even have to expand your business. This could be a business by itself. Have you thought about that, scaling wise?
No, but कसैलाई पनि हुन्छ नि अब if you looking for my help, I'll be there definitely. त्यो चाहिँ अब यदि दाइ म I want to make a studio तपाईको जस्तो स्टुडियो बनाउन चाहन्छु भने definitely I'll be there. I'll help you. What do you need? Top to bottom. If you need blueprint, I can give you a blueprint. And if you need advice, I can give you advice.
Nice.
Yeah. त्यो के अरे त्यस्तो हार्ड फिलिङ छैन किनभने अब यो कन्भर्सेसन हो नि त हामीले गरेको होइन कम्पिटिसन होइन अनि जस्तो कन्भर्सेसन हो जसले गर्दा पनि हुन्छ क्या अनि इफेक्टिभ कन्भर्सेसन राम्रो कन्भर्सेसन मान्छेले सुनिदियोस् भन्ने न हो होइन हाम्रो कुरा सुनेर कसैलाई फाइदा भयो भने त्यही हाम्रो चाहना त्यही हो व्हाट डु यु थिंक व्हाई डु यु वान्ट टु डु पडकास्ट अथवा यस्तो खालको रेकर्डिङ स्टुडियो किन चाहिँ बनाउन खोजिरहेको छ त ब्राडले
What do you think? I was gonna ask him that. What's your vision? What's your purpose?
No, man.
What's your
So
okay, go ahead.
I haven't shared the vision with like a lot of people, not even like no more than 2 people. The end goal is for people to get into IT. One of the things I brought up at the beginning was, hey, you know how I went from like living paycheck to paycheck, gas on like kanahani whatever thing. I'm kind of free now, and I want that to happen to the next generation, my neighbors or whoever. And I want to show them, hey, you need to do X, Y, Z and do it. One of the things I have been trying to bring more people in, and I want to bring more people, is bring people from different fields in IT, like product managers, IT managers, especially in हाम्रो community-मा के हुन्छ भने मलाई computer चलाउन नि आउँदैन, like I don't want to do this kind of thing. It's more like there's more to IT than computers. There's a guy who just, the only thing he does is he does password reset. Right? Let's not make it that easy, but he does like password reset. हजुरको फोनको password reset हुन्छ, policy हुन्छ, कतिचोटिमा lock हुन्छ नि, त्यो भयो.
Help desk positions.
Help desk tier 1, tier 2. There's people like ISOs and ISIs, right? ISO is information system security officer. तिनीहरूको काम चाहिँ यिनीहरूले यो law अनुसार यो कम्प्युटर यसरी लक गरेछ कि गरेछ छैन, यिनीहरूले एप्लिकेसन बनाउँदा मन परी कोड युज गरेछ कि एउटा स्ट्यान्डर्ड प्र्याक्टिस युज गरेछ कि गरेछ छैन, त्यो जबहरू like there's a job you don't really have to code, you just need to check policies.
Bro, that's literally my position right now.
I know.
So yeah.
Okay, what do you do, Biswas?
Bro,
tell us.
Oh my god, like it's a government contractor position, right? It's like ISSO. All I have to do is like review some documents, review the like read the like stig files, all the scans, and make sure like there's no critical like up there, and you just have to basically make sure your ATO, like authority to operate, is like it's like policy based, like everything's okay.
Exactly. Yeah. To add to this, so there's multiple roles, and to add to his role, there's something called ISO, what he's doing. There's something called ISI. ISI, when information system security engineer. Engineer is more hands-on like him, who can go and say, hey, yo iPad one on the head, yo policy छ कि छैन. So a very simple example would be, हाम्रो काममा you need to lock your iPad every single time. Every 15 minutes or whatever, there should be a policy that says minimum 6-digit password. उसले गर्छ, चेक गर्छ, screenshot लिन्छ अनि बल्ल control pass गर्छ त्यो controls. So every device needs to pass the controls. Number 1. Number 2, in US government, you cannot have an application that does not have ATO authorization to operate. And that goes up to 3 years depending on the company you're in.
ISSM, SCAR, and all that nonsense.
Yeah. So they do random checks too. So one day I had a CD burner in one of my room, and I was getting questioned on why do you have a CD burner, right? So that needs to be validated that hey, my ISO is approved that blah blah blah. So that is a role, and there's a place to.
There's so many roles.
There is so त्यहाँनिर रेगुलेसनहरु छ, त्यो सबै फलो गर्नु पर्यो.
Exactly. Controlsहरु हुन्छ, त्यसमा you just have to pass it. You just have to verify and you just have to pass it.
Police जस्तो के?
Police जस्तो, exactly. Police of IT.
Police काम हो के?
Yeah.
तर राम्रो पारेकोले पुलिस काम
इन्टरनेटको पुलिस
हैन, नेटवर्कको आफ्नो डोमेनको पुलिस,
सिस्टमको पुलिस. हजुरको यो घर बनाउँदाखेरि नि इन्स्पेक्सन गर्न आउँछ नि मान्छेहरूले. हजुरको इलेक्ट्रिसिटी यहाँ XYZ ठाउँमा हुनुपर्छ, यो लाइट धारा यहाँ जोड्नुपर्छ, पाइप यत्रो हुनुपर्छ हुन्छ नि. Those rules are called STIG. I've got the
control STIGs,
Yes, and they tell you how they define it for each house. तपाईको 3 तला घरको लागि फरक हुन सक्छ, कन्डोको लागि फरक हुन सक्छ नि त. त्यो सबै डिफाइन गरेको हुन्छ नि. So they are validating the work. That is also another job in IT where you can get pretty decent pay. One of the thing I think the brother brought up was there are different roles. So there is, since I'm in IT, I'm going to get carried away. So there is a federal space where they have different levels of clearance where you can get jobs. You need to be a citizen or a green card holder. And there's commercial space where people are getting in, starting in easy. That's easy to get in, but more competition. So you can have more remote job with commercial space and IT space, whereas from federal job, you usually have to go to site. To the
you
space.
have to go to site. Yeah.
So that is one of the things that is different. And I think I'll start with commercial, then go to government. So that I can get all the
I was just lucky that I had my clearance, but like I think starting commercial is very very like.
कति महिना पर्खिनु छ? 6 months जस्तो पर्खिनु पर्यो?
6 महिना लाग्यो
क्लियरेन्स को. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, so the whole thing of getting into this broadcasting business is to inspire people to get into IT. Number one, and number two, grow. So there are levels to a game, right? Bharang chale jasto. So सुरुमा हजुर छिर्नुभयो 1-2 वर्ष आइटीमा काम गर्नुभयो अनि QA बन्नुभयो. QA पछि manual test गर्ने यो चल्छ चल्दैन blah blah blah, right? Then you figure out how to automate it. You can like automate the whole thing, put all the controls and automate it, and you can pass the controls. So हजुरको यो सब बत्तीहरु automate हजुर घरमा गएपछि निस्केपछि automate हुन्छ नि. त्यस्तै हजुरको सिस्टम automate चाहिँ गर्न मिल्छ. त्यो लेभलमा जाने अनि त्यसपछि डेभलपर बन्ने अनि lead architect बन्ने हुन्छ नि. त्यस्तो हुन्छ. So I think a lot of times our community, not just Nepali, Bhutani or Indian people, we just get comfortable, right? I think one of the topic is we get comfortable when we start making 100,000, 150,000. You know what I mean? And my goal is to, hey, if you are getting into IT to make money, make a lot of money, work for 10 years, make like say 500,000 and go start your business. And IT is a route for that. Originally, when I get into IT, I thought I was going to get 5 years, make my money, and go back to different business. But right now, I fell in love with the IT business, and I think I'm going to give another 15 years to the game. So I want to give 20 years.
Nice.
So, like you said, if you wanna divert, that's a good way. For me, I just want to say, hey, this is a path. You're like, there's multiple ways to make money. This is a path to make money. You have 9-to-5 job or 7-to-3 jobs. You're more flexible, remote job. One other thing I want to do is eventually get on a van and just drive around and get a remote job. That is also possible with IT.
With exactly.
I don't know if there's any other business, much of a business
that can provide that.
Yeah. The thing is, you need power and internet.
Electricity and internet, right?
Yeah. Everywhere. But yeah, that's the main reason, man. I want to inspire people.
Internet, internet लागि यत्रो लामो तार चाहिँदैन नि आजभोलि त हैन.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the main thing. Get more people into IT, especially people of, I don't want to say people of color, but like people who feel lost, who feel like, hey, there's nothing much I can do. It's not rocket science.
Other than driving Uber or working in a gas station, you know.
कसरी help गर्ने त ब्राड उनीहरुलाई नि के छ त? What do you think? के छ? What's your plan? अब कसरी उनीहरुलाई एजुकेट गराउन त अब पडकास्टहरुको थ्रुबाट भयो हैन. You are trying to do something else हैन. केही यस्तै खालको केही कन्भर्सेसन गर्न खोजिरहेछ कोहीसँग मान्छेहरुसँग अलिक एजुकेटेड मान्छे अब त्यही स्पेशलिस्टहरुसँग गफ गर्न खोजिरहेछ. अदर देन दैट केही त्यस्तो प्लानहरु छ मेरो चाहिँ यो छ यसरी आउँछु. आई वान्ट टु डु दिस, आई वान्ट हेल्प दिस पिपल हैन. यो सर्टन ग्रुपको मान्छेहरुलाई चाहिँ म यो पाराले हेल्प गर्न मन छ, आईटीमा यसरी एजुकेट गराउन मन छ भन्ने एउटा केही छ त्यस्तो प्लानहरु?
Oh man, this is also another long-term vision, but I'll tell you. Right now, I'm thinking I just want to bring people in so people can know, hey, there's this path. But eventually, I'm going to go find multiple boot camps or whatever. So there's software boot camp for like QA, from development work, and from engineering work, and from search, like Agile side. I want to find one that I can trust on, and I want to refer them. One of the things, originally I started with, सबैलाई म like म IT सिकाइदिन्छु, यो मान्छेलाई IT सिकाइदिन्छु, यो मान्छेलाई BA बन्न सिकाइदिन्छु, यो मान्छेलाई IT बन्न. Like, you're spread too thin. सबै काम आफैले गर्न खोज्दा हुँदैन नि त. So I think I'm going to focus on podcasting, and I'm going to find some trusted resources so that I can count on. Then I'm going to refer them there. So instead of saying, hey, Brad, I need to get a dev gig, so it's a good idea. Do you have like 6 months to commit to this? Then I'll say, okay, go to this XYZ school, right? And without taking like cut. Like one of the things we get, paisa is a very good thing and a bad thing. When you start like greedy and when you starting cut from like referrals, that hurts you. So I want to get in a honor system where I referred somebody there and they did good, and they would refer somebody else, or they would pay for somebody else's tuition in the future. That would be the long-term vision.
Okay. Yeah, let us know. When you start recording your podcast, let us know. किनभने हामी पनि हेल्प गर्छौं IT जान्न मन लागिरहेको मान्छेहरुलाई. हाम्रो मेरो ऑडियन्सहरुसँग पनि पुर्याउन सजिलो हुन्छ नि त. I will link that हुन्छ नि.
Yeah.
मेरो पडकास्टमा.
A lot of times I don't know. Like it's rare to see that people. Like जसले पनि आउ मेरो बुटक्याम्पमा आउ म सिकाइदिन्छु भन्छ अनि like 20-30% लिन्छ अनि like especially someone who's making like 30 grand and paying somebody 10 grand is a little bit hard at the beginning unless there's a support system, right? So that is the long-term vision, to have a trusted resource.
So yeah.
तर अघि के अरे विश्वासले भन्दै थियो नि त्यही उनीहरूले अब 60 के भन्छ $70 पे गर्छ एउटा कम्पनीले तर अब त्यो हुन्छ कुनै अर्गनाइजेसनले 30 नै 35 लगिदिन्छ तर यु स्टिल गेट टु नो सो मच नै हैन उनीहरूले हेल्प गर्यो नि त जब भेट्न हेल्प गर्यो हैन काम कसरी गर्ने त्यो पनि सिकाउँछ अनि वन्स यु गेट टु नो हाउ टु वर्क अनि त्यहाँदेखि चाहिँ उनीहरूले अब त्यहाँदेखि त आफ्नो खुसी पनि होला नि त निस्केर जहाँ जाँदा पनि भयो तिमीहरू त्यो पाथबाट गयो कि अथेन्टिक एजुकेसन नै लिएर गयो
म चाहिँ authentic education. I think we both went through the same. We both went to UMBC. We did our information systems there, and yeah, we did our certs. We did our due diligence. So I mean, with the podcast, we can only guide them, but they have to put in the work.
Exactly.
You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
इच्छा शक्ति भन्छ नि आफ्नो इच्छा शक्ति छैन भने त अर्काले जबरजस्ती त के गर्नु उपाय छैन नि
but I think there's
तर if you are lost हैन मिडलमा कहीँ डाउन द रोड हराइरहेको छ भने चाहिँ राम्रो गाइडेन्स हुन सक्छ
अनि इन्फ्लुएन्स पनि हुन्छ नि त हजुर अब जिममा जानु भएन तर हजुर मसँगै छिमेकी हो भने जिम जाँदाखेरि एभ्री टाइम म जिम जाँदा हजुरलाई देखेँ भने you'll go with me 1 day 2 day and 3 day like it will be a pattern and one of the thing I'm noticing is the reason we learn more at work is everybody's there thinking about how to get things better and I think bootcamp helps you going there helps you like just opening a studio like a basement just for people to come and study and ask questions will help you in the long run
I'm getting so much information here once I start doing this अब धेरै कुराहरू सिकिसकेको थाहा पाएँ क्या हुन्छ नि अब कतिको कन्स्पिरेसी थ्योरीहरू हुन्छ नि अब कतिको कुराहरूको अब अथवा यस्तो अब तिमीहरू जस्तो साथीहरूसँग भेट हुन्छ अब नयाँ कुरो सिकिन्छ होइन एजुकेटेड मान्छेहरूसँग भेट हुन्छ अनि या आई गेट टु लर्न सो मच मलाई पडकास्ट सुरु गरिकन आइ एम सो ह्याप्पी एकदम खुसी छु
तपाईँले सुरु गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि यो एक्सपेक्ट पनि गर्नुभएको
थिएन नेभर थॉट अफ इट
I mean, when I started, I thought I would get out of IT. Like I was really not liking it. I started as a QA, so I went to school, did bootcamp, and I went to work, and I didn't like it. मलाई चाहिँ कुर्नु झ्याउ लाग्ने के डेभलपरले टेस्ट लाइक गर्यो अनि त्यो म्यानुअली टेस्ट गर अनि त्यसलाई अटोमेट गर अनि अटोमेट गर्न 2 दिन हुन्छ अनि चल्दैन अनि 2 दिनपछि स्प्रिन्ट भइन्छ हैन आइटरेसन भइन्छ अनि त्यसपछि झ्याउ लागेर अनि I was like, nah. So I think once you get in, there's path. So
yeah, you can always go to different sector of IT. You don't always have to stick to one.
Yeah.
So I didn't like my ISSO, so now I'm going back to network engineering because that's what I really loved.
You should do easy. This is a really cool job.
Yeah, it's time consuming and very like tedious.
Yeah.
Guys, अनि अर्को कुरा के छ भने हाम्रो मान्छेहरुको अब सोशल मिडिया युजरहरुको ह्याक भइरहेको हुन्छ हैन धेरै कुराहरू ह्याक भइरहेको हुन्छ अनि अब हामी त्यहाँ देख्छौँ पनि कतिवटा कुरा अब हामी पनि सोशल मिडिया युजर हो आउँछ नि अब त यस्तो देखिन्छ यु लुक लाइक भन्छ नि के भन्छ अनि मान्छेले ट्राई गर्छ के गर्छ म गो स्टार जस्तो देखिन्छु भन्ने सबैलाई लोभ हुन्छ नि त बा म पनि यतिकै ह्यान्डसम पो छु कि भन्ने हुन्छ नि त अब सबैलाई हैन त्यो गर्दै जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ त्यसको 2-3 महिना पछाडि त्यो फेसबुकहरू सोशल मिडियाहरू ह्याक हुन थाल्छ त्यही मलाई यसको केही छ यसको प्रिभेन्सनहरू जनी साइबर सेक्युरिटीको बारेमा हाम्रो इन्फर्मेसनहरू कतिको हामीले फेसबुकहरुमा लगाएको इन्फर्मेसनहरू कतिको सेफ छ हैन अब हाम्रो डेटाहरू हामीले प्रोवाइड गरेको अब इन्टरनेटलाई प्रोवाइड गरेको हाम्रो डेटाहरू कतिको सेफ छ व्हाट डु यु थिंक
सेफ त छदै छैन त्यो कुरा चाहिँ हाम्रो डेटाहरू इज बीन सोल्ड एट लाइक Amazonले फेसबुकलाई बेच्छ फेसबुकले चाहिँ इन्स्टाग्रामलाई लाइक जस बेचिरहेको हुन्छ कि कम्पनीदेखि कम्पनीकोमा हैन यति कुरा सम्झिनु कि तपाईलाई फ्री मनी फ्री लाइक कसैले पनि दिन्न इन्टरनेटमा तपाईलाई यति तपाईले लाइक फ्री यस्तो छ क्लिक गर भनेर दियो भने चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ क्लिक चाहिँ गर्दै नगर्नु के
Yeah, I think one of the biggest thing is to add to is हाम्रो cybersecurity मा भन्छ the strongest thing is our people and our weakest link is also our people. So I think the only thing we can do is like last week I did like 2 days of training just for training how to look at like fake email and stuff. And I actually got in a trap. Like my company sent me an email saying, "Hey, we need you to change your password. Here's a link." It came from our company's name, but different email. So I got into that trap. So one of the thing one of the things you should do is I do multi-factor authentication. So I do two authentication with the code. And second thing I do is I use different password for different things. So bank ko लागि छुट्टै password, so social media ko लागि छुट्टै password. So social media hack भयो भने bank login हुँदैन नि. You know, like last year I got hacked. I got hacked. I don't know how they got my account, but मेरो पुरै bank accountहरु पुरै चेन्ज गर्न पर्यो अनि पुरै पासवर्ड चेन्ज गर्न पर्यो थियो हैन. There's like you're going to get hacked. It's just when. The thing is you have to prevent it. Then starting that I said मेरो बैंकले चाहिँ आजकल every time I swipe my card I get a notification. Every time there's something I get a notification and I have multi-factor authentication. And that's the only way to prevent it. And not click things. Training हो especially.
होइन सबैमा हाम्रो मान्छेहरूले ट्रेनिङै लिन पनि सम्भव छैन तर नगर्नुपर्ने कुराहरू चाहिँ के हो त हैन कस्तो कस्तो नगर्दाखेरि चाहिँ आफू बचिन्छ अब यदि भइसकेला कसको म व्हाट आई वाज हियरिङ पहिलोचोटि हैन अब त्यो कहाँबाट भियतनामहरुबाट फेस टाइम गर्ने हैन अब केटाहरुले हैन अब यहाँनेरि केटा दाइहरुलाई जे पाते गर्न लाउने हैन अनि भिडियो बनाउने अनि उहाँबाट 5000 6000 दिस भने तेरो भिडियो म हाल्दिन नभए हाल्दिन्छु भिडियो त्यो खालको छ क्या अब त्यस्तोहरू भयो भने बस्ने पनि त तरिका छ नि त अब कहीँ छैन उपाय छैन नि त अब यु क्यानट कम्प्लेन हुन्छ नि फाइल अ कम्प्लेन पुलिसलाई भन्नु पनि छैन अब आफै गरेको बाथरुममा दैलो थोनेर गरेको छ गर्ने सबै थोक हैन तर अब त्यो भिडियोहरू छ अब थाइल्यान्डको मान्छेसँग यस्तो जोगिनु पर्यो नि यस्तो कुराहरूमा यस्तो जोगिने उपायहरू छ कि अथवा पर्यो भने कसरी जोगिने
First of all, like change your password ASAP. Change your password ASAP. That's the easiest thing you can I can say. But yeah, you just have to be careful. Prevention is always better than cure. So like you always have to be careful what kind of sites you're visiting, what type of links you're clicking. Like don't trust anyone in the internet. Basically.
I think one of the things he's saying is yes, that's great prevention. What happens after you get caught? Like what happens if there's video? I think. I think the biggest thing is what is the cost ROI, like if you give the money or if you don't give the money. उसले पछि 4 महिनापछि फेरि पैसा चाहिएर ड्रग खाएर भएपछि चाहियो भने के गर्ने? So I think you just have to confront the thing. Sometimes you just have to take a loss. One of the like schoolहरु usually hackहरु हुन्छ नि बिटकोइनमा पैसा माग्छ नि. Sometimes the government officials say go pay the ransom just so we don't need to be locked, right? So
that's for like big corporation ransomware stuff. But,
but even for the small person, let's say you get caught by some Thailand person taking your video of your like special
private
videos. The question is, how do I know that you're gonna delete the video?
Exactly.
Right. So I sometimes just go with the thing and said, hey, I'll take the loss.
Yeah.
Do your thing. It depends, right? Like to layman's president day open to take around so line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know the answer. I would calculate the risk factor.
किनभने फ्यामिलीसँगको सरोकार हुन्छ नि त फ्यामिली भएको हुन्छ बच्चा बच्ची होला नि कतिको हैन अब कसैलाई थाहा नहोला फ्यामिली रिलेसनशिपहरू बिग्रिन्छ अनि भनेपछि यस्तो के अरे अनअथेन्टिक के भन्छ साइटहरू चलाउँदै चलाएन जाँदै नजाने के पठाएको
they store your cookies, they have your IP address.
One of the thing I do, this is more of a prevention thing. One of the things I do is I delete my Google history automatically 3 months. 3 महिनापछि चाहिँ automatically delete गर्ने बनाएको छु passwordहरु चाहिँ every once in a while change गर्छु तर usually like I automate those things so I don't have to think about it. And that would be a cool idea. I don't know, it depends on the phone too.
अब यो चाहिँ फेरि जान्नेले मात्रै गर्छ के नजान्नेलाई चाहिँ अब 3-4 वर्षसम्म पनि एउटै पासवर्ड हुन्छ प्राय हैन अब उले अब तेरो पासवर्ड ओल्ड भयो चेन्ज गर्न नभन्नुन्जेलसम्म चेन्ज नगर्ने आदत छ नि त हाम्रो पनि हैन कति ठाउँमा त्यो भएर पनि अब यस्तो कुराहरू ख्याल गर्नु पर्यो आफ्नो ब्याङ्कको एकाउन्टहरु अब सोशल साइटको एकाउन्टहरु चाहिँ अलिकति फ्रिक्वेन्टली चेक गरेर राख्ने पासवर्डहरु चेन्ज गरेर राख्ने एभ्री 3 मन्थ्सहरुमा हैन अब के रे राम्रो अर्गनाइजेसनको त त्यस्तै हुन्छ एभ्री 3 मन्थ्सहरुमा चेन्ज गर्नै पर्छ हैन रिक्वायर हुन्छ नि त गर्नै पर्यो गाइस अर्को नि अब संसार एकदम त्यही त अघि भने जस्तो एभ्रीडे नयाँ के भन्छ इनोभेसनहरु भइराछ नयाँ कुराहरु भइराछ अब अहिले आएको छ अब एआई च्याट जीपीटी हैन अब यो कुराले अब राम्रो पनि छ नराम्रो पनि छ भन्छन् नि मान्छेहरुले हैन अब राम्रो गर्नेको लागि धेरै राम्रो छ के छ अब आईटी इन्जिनियर आईटी स्टुडेन्टहरुलाई एआई आइकन चाहिँ धेरै सजिलो भएको छ काम गर्नलाई भन्ने छ Hey guys, agree on this?
Yes, I absolutely love ChatGPT in my opinion.
So, you use it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
तिमीले अब एउटा कोड लाइक तिम्रो प्रोग्राम बनाउनु छ भने त्यसले कोड लेखेर पठाइदिन्छ all you have to do is copy paste के machine learning is the next level top tier के फ्युचरै हो like I think
I seen it.
अनि कतिको अथेन्टिक छ त्यो के रे अब आफ्नो काममा चाहिँ त्यसलाई त्यो एक्सेप्ट हुँदैछ त्यो आफूले च्याट जिपिटी चलाएर कोडिङ गरेको कुराहरू
मेरो चाहिँ लाइक कामको कम्पनीमा चाहिँ लाइक त्यो च्याट जिपिटी चलाउनै मिल्दैन कि त्यो वेबसाइट जानै मिल्दैन तर मेरो लाइक ब्रदर इन ल ही सेड ही युजेस इट एभ्री डे ही सेड लाइक he doesn't he works 8 hours a day but with chat gpt he's done in 1 hour coding like for 1 hour
Nice.
It's super useful for developers I think.
I haven't used it. One of my coworkers sent it and said, hey, tell this guy to write a poem in Nepali. And when I tried to log in and there was a backlog delay, like account creation ko lagi, and that's the only thing I've done with ChatGPT.
Yeah. तर चाहिँ लाइक यसले चाहिँ अब जबको लाइक सिक्युरिटी त छैन नि त अब डेभलपर्सहरूलाई
त्यही कुरा छ क्या अब अहिले अब जब सेक्युरिटी छैन यसले गर्दाखेरि एनीबडी क्यान डु वाट हुन्छ नि जे पनि गर्न सक्छ अब भन्ने कुरो अलिकति बेसिक इन्फर्मेसन भयो च्याट जिपिटीको भने उसले जसरी पनि चलाउन सक्छ भन्ने अनि के पनि भन्दो रहेछन् भने अब लङ रनमा राम्रोसँगले यसलाई युटिलाइज भएन भने चाहिँ एकअर्कालाई सिद्ध्याउन युज हुन्छ भन्छ नि एकअर्कालाई सिद्ध्याउनुको लागि चाहिँ एआई युज हुन्छ भन्ने पनि भन्दो रहेछ अलिक स्पेसलिस्टहरूले होइन अनि वाट यु थिङ्क अब विशेष यसलाई नि हामीले गर्न सकिन्छ त यो यसको राम्रो पक्ष नराम्रो पक्ष के छ त
यसको नराम्रो पक्ष भनेकै त्यही हो
कतिसम्म चाहिँ डिटेलमा गएको छ भन्न खोजेको
म चाहिँ त्यस्तो डिटेलमा चाहिँ गएको छैन मैले चाहिँ आफ्नै बेनिफिटहरूको लागि मात्रै युज गरिरहेको छु कि लाइक अब क्वेसनहरू छ आफूलाई चित्त नबुझेको क्वेसनहरू चाहिँ मैले सर्च गर्छु राम्रो एन्सर लाइक डिटेलमा एन्सर देखाइदिन्छ अनि आई थिङ्क फ्युचर चाहिँ छ यसको राम्रो very right
nice
सबैले त्यसै भन्दैछन् अझ झन् काम गर्ने यो कम्प्युटरमा काम गर्ने विशेष उनीहरूको लागि चाहिँ धेरै सजिलो हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा छ
like if you can really use it to make your time better,
work life better,
especially forget work life balance, man. If it takes you like 2 hours to do the work of 8 hours,
10 minutes, bro. It takes
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Isn't that better?
Like I think you don't have to write हुन्छ नि perfect sentence के अब ठ्याक मिलाएर अब के छ के विषयमा मिलाएर ठ्याक्कै त्यो थ्रो गर्ने बित्तिकै मिलाएर लेखेरै दिन्छ भने कसले दुःख गरिरहने दिमाग दुखेर
एक्ज्याक्टली
तर अब हामी लेजी चाहिँ हुन्छौँ होला क्या हामी रिसर्च गर्न छोड्छौँ होला क्या हामी दिमाग खेलाउन छोड्छौँ होला क्या त्यो भइहाल्छ नि भनेर त्यो गरिएन भने फेरि फाल्टु अर्को प्रोडक्टिभ केही काम गरिरहेको छ भने त ब्यालेन्स हुन्छ होला त्यहाँ पनि अब च्याट जिपिटी गऱ्यो यता पनि सुतेछ के गरेछ होइन टाइम त्यसलाई राम्रो युटिलाइज गरेको छैन भने चाहिँ सबैतिर घाटा भयो नि त होइन त्यसरी पनि
म ऱ्यान्डम क्वेसन सोध्छु है
प्लिज
सो speaking of ChatGPT, we're talking about, hey, we don't need to do the basic stuff, right? So what are some, with somebody who has family, when you try to, what's that like, around that, like, what are some principles and values, some basic things you need to teach? Because one of the things I ran into was, maसँग पनि एउटा मान्छे हाई स्कुलमा थियो होइन त्यसलाई घडी हेर्न आउँथेन कि लाइक रेगुलर घडी लाइक डिजिटल घडी चाहिन्थ्यो कि सो आई गेस the question goes back to ChatGPT ले सबै बेसिक लैदियो भने त like what are some principles and values you want to teach, right?
त्यही हो यही चाहिँ हो क्या बिगेस्ट च्यालेन्जेस होइन उनीहरूको के भन्छ च्याट जिपिटी चाहिँ एउटा शरीर मात्रै हो क्या आत्मा होइन नि त होइन जस्ट आई डोन्ट नो म फेरि धेरै जान्ने भएछ होइन शरीर मात्रै आत्मा होइन नि त होइन अब के अरे शरीरले चिया खान्छ पकाउँछ होइन चियामा के हाल्नुपर्छ भन्ने थाहा छ तर च्याट जिपिटीलाई चाहिँ चिया मिठो गुलियो भयो भन्ने थाहा छैन नि त होइन उसलाई के हाल्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरो मात्रै थाहा हुन्छ क्या चिया कस्तो भयो किन उसले त्यो एक्सप्रेस गर्नु पायो वाह मिठो भयो कति मिठो भन्ने उसकोबाट आउँदैन भनेपछि हामीलाई बनाउन सजिलो छ होला आत्माको हिसाबमा हुन्छ नि नलेजको हिसाबमा हामीले पायौँ तर सेटिस्फ्याक्सन एउटा चाहिँ छैन होला जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a very deep thing to look into. What are some principles, base values, or atma that we want to know get into, even for people, not just like software and application.
तर अब चाहिँ हामी चाहिँ क्रिएटिभ जब्सहरू लाइक वी हेभ टु स्टार्ट लुकिङ इन्टु मोर क्रिएटिभ जब्स के किनभने एआईले चाहिँ पुरा अटोमेट गरिदिनु भयो कि अब जे पनि अब तिमीले अब कोड गर्नु छ लाइक 8 आवर्सको कोड गर्नु छ 10 मिनटमा गरिदिन्छ भनेपछि यु हेभ टु स्टार्ट लुकिङ इन्टु मोर क्रिएटिभ साइड अफ लाइक आइटी
अहिले नै यति थोक गरिरहेको छ होइन अहिले यति धेरै थोक सिकेको जस्तो भइरहेछ नि त आफूलाई यो काम गर्नको लागि अहिले तिमीहरू जे गरिरहेछौ त्यो गर्नको लागि यति धेरै सिकिरहेछौ भन्ने भइरहेछ नि त अब यही नै कम्ती हुन थाल्यो क्या
एक्ज्याक्टली
होइन अबको दिनमा अनि अब च्यालेन्जेस बढ्दै गयो अब यसले आफू जीवनस्तर सजिलो बनाउनु भन्दाखेरि पनि झन् च्यालेन्जेस बढाउँदै जाने हो कि जसले पनि गर्यो नि त कम्पनीको सिइओले 10 जना काम गरिदियो भने त होइन
कम्पनीले किन एक्स्ट्रा पैसा तिर्ने
कम्पनीले किन एक्स्ट्रा पैसा तिर्ने अनि यसलाई यसको दुईटै पक्षले हेर्ने होला सायदै
मैले एउटा I was trying to find Harvard Business Review ko article out there. I think 2022 or 2021 ma. You need to know new tools and technologies every 18 months. And if you're on IT, it's even more, like less time. I think 6 to whatever months. I was trying to look at that.
Update bhairakhnu paryo bhanne kuro.
Exactly. Update चाहिँ भइराख्नु पर्छ. And thing is, once you start making money, you just become complacent. के म आफैलाई feel भइराछ कि म एकदमै complacent feel भइराछु भनेर के. I'm not like that eager like I was an intern back in the days. Back when I was starting, I was not like I didn't have the same drive. I don't have the same drive and hunger like I used to. So like I think we just have to like start अब यो इन्डस्ट्रीमा भएपछि लाइक सिकिराख्नु पर्छ
नयाँ कुरो एभ्री टाइम अपडेट भइराख्नु पर्यो हैन
क्लासेसहरु लिइराख्नु पर्यो युडेमी छ लाइक यु नो लाइक यु क्यान लाइक लिटरली बाय अ कोर्स फर $9 $10 you can learn something new in like 1 week 2 weeks if you just given time.
That's how I learned EXXI.
Oh really? EXXI.
यो एप चलाउन धेरै जना मान्छेलाई थाहा छैन यो एप नि
कुन एप दाइ
यो युडेमी
ओके
हो
हैन अब यो युडेमी पनि कसरी चलाउने अब यो पनि एउटा एप्लिकेसन हो कसैले रेडी गरिदिएको हैन अनि इट्स अ भेरी गुड एप्लिकेसन सबै धेरै मोस्ट अफ द एजुकेसन अब क्लास 1 देखि 10 मा गए जति त यही मिल्छ
एक्ज्याक्टली
हैन सबै थोक अब घरमा बसी 10-15 मिनेटको भिडियोहरुमा अनि म पनि यसको भर्खर फ्यामिलियर भएको हैन यो हाम्रो डेनिसकोबाट अनि केही कुरा नयाँ कुरा सिक्नु पर्यो भने यो यसबाट हेर्नु भन्नुभयो अनि यो पनि छ अर्को सजिलो एप्लिकेसन हैन चलाउनको लागि कतिको हेल्पफुल छ तिमीहरुको लागि
मलाई चाहिँ एकदम हेल्पफुल भएको छ मैले धेरै कुरा सिकिरहेको छु पछि चाहिँ हैन हाम्रो स्कुल सिस्टम नै चेन्ज हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ हामीले सब अनलाइन आफुलाई जेमा इन्ट्रेस्ट छ त्यसैमा लाइक लागि पर्न सकिन्छ नि त अब लाइक सपोज पछिको स्कुल सिस्टमहरु चाहिँ हैन यो कोर्स पढ तँलाई केमा इन्ट्रेस्ट छ यो लाइक रिक्वायरमेन्ट दिन सक्छ आफै घरै बसेर पढ्ने किन लाइक बिहान 7 बजे उठेर ब्याग बोकेर जानु पर्यो
त्यही त दिनभरि फेरि है के भन्छ तिमीले त टिफिन भन्छ हैन टिफिन बोकेर जानु पर्यो हैन हामी खाजा भन्थे के अब त्यो बोल्ने शैली हैन खाजा बोकेर जानु पर्यो अनि अब त्यही इलनले त्यो चेन्ज गराउँदै उसको नानीहरुलाई त्यसो सुनेको छ उले आफै होम स्कुल जस्तो होम स्कुल स्टार्ट गरेर
आई थिंक पछि त्यही नै हुन्छ होला लाइक होम स्कुल हुन्छ होला मोस्टली तर त्यसको पनि ड्रब्याक्सहरु हुन्छ मान्छे
अब यो अब जस्तै अब तिमीहरु बाउहरु हुँदाखेरि फादरहरु हुँदाखेरि अब तिमीहरुले ख्याल गर्ने होला के अब हुन्छ नि अब स्कुल पठाउने कि अब फुल टाइम स्कुल पठाउने कि होम स्कुल गर्ने होम स्कुल गर्दाखेरि भनेको यो सबै आफैले सिकाउनु पायो तर अब होम स्कुल जाँदा भनेको अब त्यो सोशली हुन्छ नि कल्चरली इन्टरेक्सन गर्न चाहिँ सकिँदैन भन्ने कुरो त्यो चाहिँ होला गाइस अर्को कुरा नि अब के अरे हामी जस्तै अन्तिमतिर लङ पनि नभनौँ हैन कस्तो अर्को मलाई के जान मन लागेको भने जब मान्छेहरू आइटीहरू हुन्छ नि लामो समय काम गर्छन् 5-10 वर्ष काम गर्न थालिसके पछाडि बर्नआउट भएको थाहा पाउँछ क्या म धेरै अनि आइटी छोडेर अरू नै बिजनेसहरू गर्न थालेको जस्तो लाग्छ किन उनीहरू फाइनान्शियल फ्रिडममा अथवा फाइनान्शियल स्ट्रङ भएर हो कि हैन अब त्यो धेरै कम्प्युटर भएर हो कि व्हाई डु यु थिंक किन मान्छेहरूले चाहिँ अब आइटी छोडेर आफ्नो बिजनेस गरिरहेछन्
बिकज आई फिल लाइक दे वान्ट टु बी देयर ओन बॉस दे वान्ट द फ्रिडम
वर्क फ्रिडम सबैलाई चाहिएको छ फेरि
सेम वे I've been in IOT industry for 5 years. I'm not like that into it, but I feel like, you know, I've reached my limit. Like the money I could be starting my own business and I could be making double, triple the money whatever I'm making. So me personally, I'm thinking about getting out.
जन त्यसले चाहिँ अब के भन्छ it gives you more हुन्छ नि अब एउटा आत्मविश्वास हैन आत्मविश्वास त्यो पैसा आउन थाल्यो म केही गर्न सक्छु भन्ने त्यही भएर पनि क्विट गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ मतलब टु मच भइरहेको हुन्छ आइटी अनि छोड्न सजिलो भयो होला टन्न पैसा पनि कमाइरहेको हुन्छ नि त
अनि कम्फर्टेबल पनि भयो हैन अनि चाहिँ एउटा कम्प्लेसेन्ट पनि फिल हुन्छ आफुलाई हैन
Fine. So I think there's multiple things. I think the long-term vision भयो एउटा हैन तर उसले भने जस्तो मान्छे comfortable हुन्छ like after 3 years or so if you don't learn new things you get like bored kind of thing and you also have some money saved up. Like if you're doing like $40,000 in Uber and if you're making $80,000 in IT for 10 years or whatever, तपाईँको त्यो 20,000 त बच्छ नि त अनि 5 वर्षपछि त 1 वर्षको स्यालेरी बच्यो नि त त्यसपछि म त्यो 1 वर्षको स्यालेरीले गएर बिजनेस खोल्छु चेपरे पर्छ नि
जेमा इन्भेस्ट गर्न सक्यो
that's one. The second thing is not learning. The third thing is one of the thing with especially people who work too hard is they work too much on the same thing, right? So one of the things I'm trying to learn more of how to work in the business versus on the business, right? हजुरले podcast गर्ने टन्न गर्ने कि podcast कसरी राम्रो बनाउने, those are two different topics.
Exactly.
Right. So like, do I want to be doing same thing in that IT in that field, or do I want to grow, or do I want to scale? I think people don't take that as seriously as they need to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think तपाईँ यदि पैसाकै पछाडि भाग्नु भएको छ भने like I don't think IT is the right space for you because you really have to love it. You have to go with the long vision. Okay?
Really?
Like, I think so. Yeah.
You know what I think? I really think the IT is the right place to get into. Make your money and leave.
Make your money and leave.
Make your money and leave.
But
you cannot make this money this fast in any other business.
But you have to have understanding how IT business works.
Yeah. I feel like you need to have vision and you have to like love for the game, for the space. And if you're for money, you can make money in trucking. Like you can go.
He's into the trucking business.
That's why I'm really looking into it.
No, not necessarily, but think about it from IT. Somebody's paying you about like 80, 90, 100 grand to come and be on a computer for 8 hours.
8 hours.
Out of 8 hours, you work like 6 hours because you take 2-hour lunch. Nobody's yelling at you depending on who the team is. And you still make decent money. Go home.
For a lifestyle, you're getting a good lifestyle.
Yeah, and then you take the money and go buy a truck. Because truck is going to be a while, right? Or go buy a stock.
Go back to the truck.
I'm just saying, like, extra money and something.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
It's an interesting business, and people are making a lot of money.
A lot of money. Yeah.
Money is everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Money is everywhere. You just need to commit to it.
जरा पत्ता लाउनु पर्यो हैन कहाँ छ त्यसको जरा.
Exactly.
I'm so happy to have you here, bro. Guys, मलाई खुसी लाग्यो हैन आज गफ तिमीहरु पनि बिहानै अब धेरै लामो ट्राभल गरेर आयो. खुसी लाग्यो.
Thank you for having us today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Biswas. अब फेरि पनि भेट हुन्छ हाम्रो हैन फेरि अब हाम्रो फ्रिक्वेन्टली भेट हुन्छ अके पनि एकअर्कालाई हेल्प गर्दै अगाडि बढ्ने न हैन. अनि अब मेरो अझै एउटा रिक्वेस्ट के छ भने अब तिमीहरू यहाँ बसिरहेको छ रिक्वेस्ट हैन एउटा गफ हैन अब पोसिबल कुराहरू गर्नको लागि चाहिँ अघि सुरुमा गरेको थियो नि नेपालतिर गएर पनि आफूले अब केही राम्रो गर्न सकिन्छ थोरै इन्भेस्ट गर्दाखेरि पनि धेरैजनाको जीवनस्तर बनाउन सकिन्छ भने वाइ नट हैन. अनि आफू जहाँ हुर्केको थियो जहाँ बसेको थियो अब जहाँ पढेको थियो त्यही स्कुलहरूमा पनि अब यो एजुकेसनहरू छिराउनु पाए गए विश्वास दादा ब्राड दादा हैन गाउँमा कति त्यो एउटा हुन्छ नि अथवा विश्वास भाइ आएको थियो ब्राड भाइ आएको थियो हाम्रो गाउँ नै उनीहरूले सुधार्यो. अनि त्यो कुराहरू पनि छ. अनि यो कुराहरू पनि ख्याल गर्ने हो कि अलिअलि हैन. किन पैसै मात्रै पनि सबै थोक होइन अब आफ्नो एउटा सेटिस्फ्याक्सन पनि चाहियो. अनि त्यो कुराहरू पनि ख्याल गर्नुपर्छ. यङै छ यता सोच्न भ्याकै छैन हैन. अब मैले जस्ट भ्यू मात्रै छर्दिएको
त्यो गर्ने हो त 100% गर्ने हो.
After 15 years.
Yeah.
It's in the plan.
मेरो साथीहरूले गरिरहेछ कि कोड नेपाल भनेर हैन त्यहाँ गएर लाइक बच्चाहरूले सिकाइरहेछ. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can just join them and help them out.
Exactly.
There's already wheel invented.
Yeah.
Alright guys, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
खुसी लाग्यो एकदम साँच्चै मजा आयो. अब पिजन फेदर स्टुडियो सुनेर हेरेर बस्नुहुने सम्पूर्ण दर्शक महानुभाव धेरै धन्यवाद. आज तपाईँहरूले नदेखेको अनुहार सायदै हैन अब को केटाहरू भन्ने भइरहेछ होला. दे आर स्टुडेन्ट दे आर स्टिल लर्निङ अनि आइटीमा काम गर्दैछन् दुवैजना धेरै राम्रो अनि राम्रो एजुकेसन छ दुवैजनामा. प्लिज यो पडकास्ट कस्तो लाग्यो के लाग्यो
लाइक कमेन्ट एन्ड सब्स्क्राइब रिङ बेल
लाइक शेयर सब्स्क्राइब त गरिहाल्नुहुन्छ पक्कै पनि मन पर्यो एपिसोड भन्ने हैन. थ्याङ्क यू गाइज थ्याङ्क यू सो मच.
Thank you.